how has your life changed since, stepping away from reality TV?
I have my sanity at the end of the day. I think a lot of people don't know a lot comes with it. And what I didn't know, a lot of my family was affected by me being on this show, especially my daughter. And she's transitioning to middle school, so she had to deal with a lot of bullying, kids having opinions, what their parents said, how their parents feel. So it took a toll on her as well, because no kid likes to hear people, talking about their parents. So just imagine if it's half your school that has something to say about your mom or your dad. They don't like you because of your mom or your dad. It's a lot on the kids.
The exposure, obviously, for your businesses and having your name out there, I'm assuming, is a good thing.
Oh, yeah. I tell people all the time, it was a great platform. Excellent. If you have the guts to be on a reality show, then I say go for it. I don't think it's for everybody, because everybody can't deal with everything that comes with it. But I think it was an awesome experience. It was an awesome platform for, Class 6. And I just feel like, I wouldn't have gotten that exposure if I didn't do the reality show.
With that said, would you ever do another reality show? Would you ever return to Love and Hip Hop?
I wouldn't say I would return to Love and Hip Hop, but I would definitely do another reality show. I never thought I would, but I miss it. Like, how you feel like I'm supposed to be doing something else. That's the kind of feeling that I have.
Yeah.
So I would definitely do another reality show.
Is it easier to parent and co-parent and deal with that whole situation between you and Scrappy? Like, is it easier to do that stuff off camera?
What you see is basically what you get. It's pretty much the same, It's been hard, and I just hope one day we get to the point where, it's just, it's smooth, it's easy on both of us, and we can just, see eye to eye when it comes to co-parenting. But it kind of goes hand in hand.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same to me.
You, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming you had real friends on that show. I'm assuming some of those women were actually real friends in your life, like Arian and Mimi.
Definitely.
Are you in touch with any of them since you guys don't work together anymore, so to speak?
No, we don't talk as much as we used to. Of course, with being on the show, and I know being on the show, it's a job at the end of the day, and it's a lot of work. So no, we haven't really talked. No, we did talk. Mimi invited me out to me and Imani. I believe the last time we talked was to Eva's birthday, but Imani ended up being sick, so she couldn't make it. And she may have reached out again because she was having something and I couldn't make it. So we try to, keep in touch. If someone's having something, just say, hey, come out. I haven't seen you, support,
Do you, what's the word? Like, yeah, I don't know. I guess, do you miss having sort of your life documented along with Imani and all of that stuff, like getting to see, sort of her grow up, I guess, on TV? It's sort of like a photo album in a way.
Sometimes I do. 'Cause you can look back and it helps you to see yourself. And some of, hey, look, I see a little flaw that I can, work on. So I miss it in that sense.
Do you feel like you were, you grew up or you were able to evolve and to see that on television?
I was able to, yes, seeing myself, from the beginning, I could be a little firecracker. And I was just like, you can handle situations a little better, Erica. It doesn't, necessarily have to go to that level. So I did see growth in me evolving, on the show, definitely.
Have you watched the show at all since you haven't been on this season?
No, I haven't. Sorry.
Oh, you're nuts. That's fine with me. What do you think of Scrappy sort of, I don't know, he's engaged now, and I'm sure you know that.
I'm actually happy for him. I don't know why so many people just was like, oh my gosh, how do you feel? And it's like, dude, like, we were together years ago. Like, we're not getting back together. Only thing we're trying to do is, co-parent. I'm very happy for him. I want to see him finally do right by a woman. I don't care which woman it is, but just do right. And I mean, when I say do right, do what a man's supposed to do, period. because it's not for me, it's for my daughter at the end of the day. Show her what type of man you want her to be with. That's why I want to see him. I want to see him get married and just do right and live life and be successful.
I think I talked to you last year, and we were chatting, and you were sort of not so into Bambi. But with what you just said, I'm curious, what your opinion
Let's
is.
be clear. I'm
Please.
still not so into Bambi. Nothing's changed. I don't understand a female that can be with someone and you have all this animosity towards me. I mean, anytime something goes on, of course, I have a huge family, friends. They're telling me, what she's saying on the show, what she's saying outside of the show. And it's just like you have this vendetta towards me and you don't even know me. All you know is what someone's told you and conditioned you to think about me. You've never been formal, like he's never introduced you. He's never said, hey, Erica, this is my fiance, Bambi, like nothing. You guys come to events when it comes to Imani and you sit and you don't say two words. You don't even look my way. So that's what confuses me. But you claim you love my daughter and you're all for her. Like, a real woman would want to have a conversation with me, like, hey, like, this has to stop. Like, let's, come to a common ground, somewhere, because ultimately you guys are taking your relationship to the next level. And I'm the type of person that if I'm in a relationship with someone, I want to talk to your child's mother. Like, I want her to know that, the child is in good hands around me. That's just me being a mother. Maybe she doesn't get it, or maybe she doesn't understand because she doesn't have kids. But I just feel like, maturity-wise, just as a woman, as a grown woman, something should click. Like, hey, we need to eventually sit down and have a conversation. Now, don't get me wrong. I did want to reach out to her, but she just gives me drama and confusion, and I just didn't have time for, me reaching out turning into something that's on social media,
Mm-hmm. I don't want to get myself in the mix, but my colleague I know spoke to Bambi the other day, and Bambi also says, she just says, and only said good things about Imani and how she's totally open to talking to you, and she wants the best for you too. Do you ever feel like you guys just need to like have a conversation, or Scrappy needs to just say like you guys need to get along because you both love Imani?
But it's not any real beef, and the thing about it is prior to him. I want to say a couple of weeks to him proposing to Bambi, Scrappy was trying to get back with me. He called my mama 21 times. He just, he called my old publicist, like wanted to have this conversation with me, and which we did and kind of put our differences to the side. But I spoke to him and I told him, I said, what confuses me is you have yet to say, hey, like, I want us all to sit down and, have a conversation because we want to make sure Imani's comfortable, in all situations, when she's with you, when she's with me, I don't think he's going to do that. For what reason? I don't know. So I just, I spoke to my spiritual advisor about it. And I think, I prayed about it. And I think eventually it will happen. Like, we will have that, conversation. I just don't know when.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so in the beginning of the season, you were not on the show, and I don't even know if the show had premiered, but you and Mama D, like, had all this Twitter stuff going on, and you were talking about how she had roaches in her place, and she was saying you were mad that you weren't back on the show. Was there any resolution to that? Like, why is there still stuff going on between you guys?
I guess it will forever. Mama D is the type of person that does stuff for publicity. If she sees me or sees my mom, it's, hey, how you doing? Don't be mad at me for what I did. That was just for TV or that was just for the show. But it's kind of like it's getting old at this point. It's like, I don't know. I don't understand what her issue is, or who does she feel like she has to prove something to. But again, hopefully one day she will grow up and grow out of it.
I guess, Erica, tell me, what what do you see yourself doing in a year? Like, what can you imagine? What do you imagine for your business and your brand?
Oh, in a year, I would definitely have my store. That is like my main goal right now is finding a storefront in a good area, though, a nice area. And and just continue to grow as a person and grow my business. This be opening my first store will be in Atlanta. I definitely want to put one in New York. That's like my second home. And I ultimately I want to have three. So I'm not sure as to where I want to have my third one at, but I will definitely have my first one within the next year.
Do you look up to people like Rashida and Carly, who have their own stores and sort of have built?
Carly,
I,
stop.
I mean, she has a store and she has one in Atlanta and one in LA.
But Carly has a store based on somebody else. Like, let's be clear. Somebody else. It's like going into business with someone who's already established. Just like me just putting my stuff in Rashida's store and saying this is our store. When at the end of the day, it's Rashida's store. So when I do stuff, like I like to do it on my own. I feel like hard work pays off and you appreciate it more. I don't want to be spoon-fed, and I feel like Carly was spoon-fed. No shade, no tea, but I feel like that's pretty much what it was.
Okay.
Like I said, like I want to do everything on my own. Like Erica did this. Like she worked hard, she grinded, she hustled.
I hear you. Well, Erica, I do mean it when I say we miss you, and that you're so fun, and you always had fun with you at the reunions and whatnot. So I hope you'll be in touch, and as you have things happen, we always want to kind of keep in touch with you and be able to update the fans on our platform here to let them know what you're doing. So please be in touch, and don't hesitate to reach out.
Definitely. And I thank you guys for still thinking about me. Little old me.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think people really want to know where you are, and we were like, we got to talk to Erica when we thought now would be a perfect time to update everybody and let them know, that you're still out here grinding and working and hustling, and that, you're doing you.
Yeah, I am. I have to. I have a daughter, and I teach her to do as I do, not as I say. That's why I went back to school. I graduate next year, October. I will have my degree in business management, minor in marketing. So
that's amazing.
Educated for my business as well. Yes, it's trying, but I'm pushing and I'm doing because I'm showing her. They have not done it right out of high school, but I'm going back because when I went to open her college fund, we had this big debate about college and why she didn't want to go. And look at you didn't go. So I was like, wait, I don't want you to have that mentality because everybody doesn't get that break. And I feel like I got a break. I was blessed. And it doesn't happen to everybody. So you always want to have something that you can fall back on.